told me a long time ago. And I want to explain this to you the best way I can about the journey ahead as you scale a company.
Today is scale day. So today is kind of the halfway point of Empire Mastery. We've come off the back of Breakthrough Day, which is really about them, about their business too, but really about them. Because you can learn a strategy, right? But if you're not ready to implement, if you're not allowing yourself to do what needs to be done, right? Probably the best way to think about it. Doesn't matter what you learn, but you don't want to do it, right? So I'm not just about teaching, I'm about getting them activated to do it. And I think that only happens when you unlock a deeper level of drive, not motivation in them, like you activate them deeply in why they want to do this and where they want to go. You remove the roadblocks in their way so they come out of the gate firing after Empire Mastery. It's easy to be motivated when you're here, but after is what I care about. What's their next step? But everybody needs a next step. So then day one and day two is all about money. It's everything connected to money, right? How do you promote your business better? How do you negotiate better? How do you, how do you transform your business? How do you bring more revenue into your business? All of that stuff to do with money around your business. So day three is all about scaling. So, it's about how do you have partnerships is such a key part of scaling, or building a tribe, people that love your business, beyond raving fans. We're going to talk about lead. How do you lead in a different way? I actually going to talk about lead in a way they've never heard before around themselves, and we'll do some numbers to help them, to motivate them on why they change the way they lead. And optimize. How do you optimize your business? So to scale it, because if you can't optimize and systemize it and structure it right, you start to scale it and that thing starts to fall down. So you can't build a 15-story unit block on a tiny foundation. You need to have bigger foundations to build bigger on it. So I talk a lot about that. So today is all about how do you scale up.
How do we scale the business? Now, there's something I wish someone had told me a long time ago. And I want to explain this to you the best way I can about the journey ahead as you scale a company. If I make 10 sales today, I've got $120 profit, okay? Then I go, well, I've got $120 profit. I'm going to go spend that again on marketing. That's called growing organically. But if I'm like, hang on. I can spend $5 and make 12 profit. So in my head, I'd be like, all right, how do I spend $100,000 this month? Now you might be like, but Aaron, I don't have that money in the bank account. That's my point. You see, a lot of businesses grow artificially because what they realize is that at some point you might have to consider outside money. Outside money can be many things. It could be money from your own personal savings. It could be money from your offset account. Don't start me. Don't do it. It could be from a property. I bought my very first investment property here in Truganina. It didn't grow that much, but my point is that I was watching it and it was growing at like 4% a year. I'm like, so I sold it. I remember buying the property. Everyone's like, wow, Aaron, you bought a property. Yeah, you bought a property. I had a couple of businesses. I was like, I'm going to sell the property and I'm going to invest that money into the businesses. Because I'm like, it's not getting anywhere. I reckon I could do more with it. Everyone thought I was insane. Everyone, all of my family thought the greatest thing I'd ever done was buy a unit in Truganina. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but I already had a couple of businesses that were actually doing all right. But here's what I hit. I hit a pit. So I was like, what do I do? I decided to sell the house. There wasn't much in it. There wasn't much, there was only about 100 grand or something in it. But I decided to take that 100 grand and artificially inseminate my business with $100,000. Want to know why? Because I knew my clear path to cash.
Dude, I didn't eat the breakfast this morning. I had one, to be fair, but I still made my Sunday pancakes for my kids.
Nice.
Day 4. Day 4's bit, or this all comes together, you know? It all comes together. It's like a trilogy, you know, or some kind of, you know, big sort of series, mini series, you know? It kind of builds up to the last one and everything kind of comes together. 4 days, 12 pillars. You know, today is our last 2 pillars. We talk about exit. So how do you exit a business, have a liquidity event? So how do you leave the business and own it still, but not actually be in it? Or how do you exit and sell the business as well? Have what's called a liquidity event where you leave. So I want to talk about that today. And then empire, which is the last pillar and a big pillar. And that's, I actually don't know how to explain that pillar. You have to actually see it to believe it, but it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool thing. It's where it all comes together. It's where I show them how I did it, what I do, how I do it in a way that I promise you they've never seen before.
I had a business in America. I'm a shareholder in there. The business had made about $3 million a year turnover, and it made about a $500K profit. I'm a shareholder in the business. We looked at the business, and we were kind of happy, but we knew there was a bigger market. We all opted to invest into the business. We all pumped in $3 million of capital, how much the business was worth. And we did that because we saw an opportunity in the market to get the infrastructure better. We did that. And that was the start of the end of last year. Now, in the first quarter results, after we implemented the new changes of the investment, we have already done $4 million in the first quarter. That's $1 million more within the whole year. And the profit's $2 million. So what do we have to do in the business? So this was like a 7-figure business. Where did we get the money from? Was it in the bank account? We invested in it, right? We invested in it. Because that's what I put my money into. And I know I make jokes about offset accounts. You can have one if you want to. But do I really want to save 5% of my home loan? Or would I rather take that money and invest it into something that I can make a fuckload more than 5%?